Dude, just give me an Nincada. Mitts, love that. What? Shiny Nincada! What? Dude! Dude, what? Oh my god. Okay, I guess for the first time in a very long time, I'm gonna have to get my camera to record this. Alright, so I've been doing a couple of side projects to set up future hunts and things like that in recent history in general, but certainly while hunting Volcarona today. And during one of those side projects in my original Ruby cartridge, I found a shiny Nincada randomly. I mean, the number of encounters I've done in this game since I booted it up has to be like 10 to 20. I could probably go back and count listening to the audio on my recording, but like, bottom line, I'm trying to transfer some dive balls up to Gen 4. I decided that would be easier than farming them through the way you get them in Diamond, Pearl, Platinum, because I want them in Heart Gold, Soul Silver to begin with. So I figured I would catch a bunch of Pokemon, give them held the dive balls, since you can just buy them in Gen 3, and then transfer them up. And then the Wurmples kept breaking out of my Pokeballs. So I was like, let me just get a False Swiper. And I have my whole like Gen 3 living dex on Pokemon Box. So I'm sure I have a False Swiper, but not in my Ruby cartridge, and I'm too lazy to pull out my other games or Pokemon Box. So I was like, let me just catch a new one. I will probably try to include audio on the recording of me being impatient, being like, come on, just give me an Nincada, because I was waiting for it to come on this route. I don't even know what percentage Nincada is, come to think of it. Let me check that real quick. I should have done that before I started recording. This is on Route 116. It's the only place you can find Nincada in Gen 3. It's a 20%, yeah, so it's not a crazy. But Nincada is one of the cooler shinies to find, generally. I remember back in Gen 3, when I first was interested in shiny hunting, thinking that because you get two for the price of one. Honestly, I was planning to hunt a Nincada for a Shedinja for a team in Gen 3 in the future, and I don't know what I'm going to do now, because I will potentially have one, assuming I evolve this, but this is the first shiny. It's insane. This is the first shiny I've ever gotten on my original Ruby save file. After all of these years, after all the time I spent playing it, even hunting Rhyhorn on it, it shined on my other cartridge. So this is the first one I've ever found, which is insane. It's so crazy. And I even thought about it. I was like, if I had, if I had it hooked up to a capture card just in case, because anytime I'm doing random encounters or anything, I'm just like, I have that in the back of my mind of like, I could find a shiny and I'd like to get it live if I do. But all my capture cards are tied up with Volcarona, all the DS fat capture cards anyway, so it wasn't an option. So here we are. But I'm not gonna mess around. I'm gonna catch. I just bought a bunch of Pokeballs because I was gonna buy these Wurmple. So buy these Wurmple, catch these Wurmple, we'll catch anything on Route 101, honestly. So I have lots of Premier Balls. We're gonna catch it in a Premier Ball. Especially Shedinja is honestly a gorgeous shiny in this generation. I feel like it's kind of known as a subtle shiny, but it looks so like kind of ghastly with its like lighter color in Gen 3, it really pops to me. It's one of the reasons I wanted to hunt it for a quest. I also just think Shedinja is a really cool and interesting Pokemon. Ninjask is too, for that matter, but there we go. All right, caught on second ball. Yeah, I mean, I could go back and count how many encounters I had done, but like bottom line, it wasn't a it wasn't a hunt. So, we're just gonna save real quick. It's been so long, as I said, it's been so long since I found a shiny not live and had to pull out my camera to record it, which I sounded really, I listened back to my reaction partially to hear if you could, to see if you could hear the sparkles, which I'm glad you can. But I sounded kind of annoyed, and it's like, I'm just disappointed to get it not live. But it's been so long since I did this, I'm just like, it's not ideal. I'm not good at recording, stuff with my camera. There's a lot to be said for the aesthetic of recording a game directly, but I don't think it's something I'm good at doing particularly. So I don't like doing it. And in the process of setting this up, setting my camera and everything up, I managed to knock a glass over. It was empty, thankfully, but it did knock into my SP and knock it off my desk, and somehow, thankfully, did not freeze it. All right, let's test this. Hang on, let's... That was pretty bad. Oh my god, it's on red battery. It's on red battery. So, we're really batting 1,000 here, but I got a shiny, and I didn't fail it by, you know, freezing my game or something. I'm honestly amazed that like, it just goes to show you how good older consoles are. I feel like a lot of newer consoles that wouldn't work for. I guess it's not going to show me on this screen. I'm trying not to. I probably should, like, tape down the system or something like that. This is a shiny Sentret that I found randomly in Leaf Green, which I totally thought I was shinoing on because my boxes are really stupidly labeled in this game. I totally thought I was shinoing on it because Sentret looks really weird in Gen 3, and then it sparkled. But that, yeah, I don't know why I traded it over to this file. I referenced that in one of my videos that I had brought it over to this file. It was recently. I think it was in one of my Safari Fire Leaf Green Rhyhorn videos. Oh, we should check the nature. I will give it a nickname. I don't know what I'm gonna give it. What nickname I'm gonna give it. And I guess I'm gonna have a shiny False Swiper, which is really cool. But I'm gonna nature guess. I'm gonna nature guess Naive. It's sassy. Okay, so that's plus special defense minus speed. I don't really know what Nincada is good at, or Ninjask or Shedinja for them. Well, I know Ninjask is good at speed because it's the only one that has speed booster in Gen 3, I think. So that's not great for it. But Shedinja is not fast, so yeah, wow, crazy. Yeah, this game is still mostly set up from when I was hunting Rhyhorn because I haven't done a whole lot until today. I hadn't done anything with it. And for this to be what happens with it, dang. Not what I was expecting, but honestly very exciting. It's been a second since I found a shiny. Certainly one that, like, I was excited about because I found, that's not what I meant to do. Found a couple of Safari shinies in Fire Leaf Green, and they're all like dupes. So it's fun to find something that's like exciting, even if it wasn't a target per se, even if it was random, even if it wasn't live. So yeah. There's shiny Nincada in my original Ruby version. I gotta figure out a nickname for this little guy, and I'll level him up, and I guess I will get back to my Wurmple catching quest. Alright, I'm back. I decided to switch over to the capture card and show off the evolution, but also show off Nincada since I only showed it off on the SP screen before. So real quickly, I'm just going to show it off in the grass here if I can encounter. There is shiny Nincada. You'll notice it's level 24, even though it normally evolves at level 20. That's because it learns False Swipe at level 25. So since the whole point of this was to get a False Swiper, I figured I might as well get a False Swipe on it. It's cool to have a shiny False Swiper. Very funny that I was... It's always crazy when you're looking for something in the grass and the first version of that species you end up finding is a shiny. It hasn't... I don't know if it's ever happened to me before. I did find a random shiny Corviknight in Gen 8 while looking for a Duraludon, but I've heard other people's stories of having that happen, so So there's Nincada level 25, wants to learn False Swipe. Obviously, we're going to do that. We're going to get rid of... let's get rid of Sand Attack. And because I have multiple extra spaces in my party, I should be good for Shedinja. But right now, I guess we're going to just see Ninjask. There's Shiny Ninjask. That gold stands out like crazy. Seeing it on screen, it actually is a much better shiny than I was thinking it was. Okay, well now we're gonna get rid of Fairy Swipes. I don't really like multi-hit moves that much for Swords Dance. Okay. Yep, there's Shedinja. I don't remember exactly how it works. I think Shedinja always ends up in a regular Pokeball no matter what. No, okay, it gets the ball that you caught it in. So it does get a Premier Ball. That's gonna look really... I mean, that shiny looks crazy good. As I said, Shedinja in Gen 3 looks so good. Shedinja is very, I think, underrated. I've heard people talk about Shedinja before as like a bad shiny, and it's... In Gen 3, that is very clearly not the case, in my opinion. But all right, let's show them both off in battle now. This is a very cool. As I said, this is something that I've always thought would be fun to go after or get like a random shiny of, because you get multiple Pokemon for the price of one. I was gonna punt it one day, but I'm okay just getting a random too, and I think I will keep it evolved because it's more fun to use an evolved Pokemon as the False Swiper, and I don't know. I'm sure I'll find another one someday, whether I, hunt it for a team or I phase on it, going for something else in this grass. There's shiny Shedinja. That looks amazing. Shedinja is... It's one of many Pokemon in Gen 3 that I think are just really cool and like have interesting mechanics behind them. They did interesting things with the abilities like Kecleon and Cast Form. Shedinja is just such an interesting Pokemon. I've always really liked it. So I'm really happy to have a shiny one of them. This shiny in general is just... The circumstances of finding it, yeah, it would have been cooler to find it live, but I think that also kind of added to how nostalgic this kind of feels, which is maybe weird to say, but Gen 3 is when I first became interested in shiny hunting. As I said, it was back in the days of Gen 3 where I thought of like, oh yeah, if you got a shiny Nincada, you get 2 shinies. There's a whole backstory to my Gen 3 shiny hunting experience that I'll go into whenever I do a Gen 3 quest sometime down the line. I've been hoping to do it this year, but we'll see what happens with the rest of my hunts if I actually clear out enough things to get around to it. But I don't know. It's especially because this is my first shiny that has an OT of my like original Ruby save file. It just feels really cool and really nostalgic. It was not something I was expecting to happen today, but it's a really exciting shiny find. Let's sort of mix things up because I've been moving between a few different hunts. I did mention my Fire Red Leaf Green Rhyhorn phases. I haven't gotten it yet, so you won't actually have seen that video yet. But so it's nice to find a shiny, and this is not one I would have thought I was gonna get. I did the math, and I did 3 encounters trying to catch Wurmple to transfer up with Dive Balls. And then I did 6 encounters in this grass, and the 6th encounter was Nincada. I keep pronouncing it differently. I think it should be Nincada, because I say cicada, and that's what it's based off of. But I feel like almost everybody says Nincada. Anyway, it's just a weird little random shiny clip, one I was not expecting to be sharing. But again, random shinies are always fun, and this is a really cool one for me. So I hope you enjoyed this, and as always, take care and best of luck on all your hunts.